Good evening, everyone, on this December 18th, 2025. I am James Frayer, host of World Events. And I just have a little thing, something here to tell you a little bit about me and what I've been involved with. Since roughly 2022, I've always been involved in or been interested in politics. And way back to 1980. In fact, I did volunteer a little bit for the Reagan campaign out in California. But I'm going to go get right into this. It's going to be pretty informative of things I've done, people I've seen and met with basically here in Illinois and on my shows. So we're going to get started. Basically, in 2022, I went to a Trump rally in Minden, Illinois, which just is east and north of Quincy, Illinois. And this is the best picture I could get of Trump from not getting any closer of him up on the stage. I was like 22 rows back in the seating area. And at the same time I was there, Mike Lindell showed up. So I was able to have the opportunity to have a selfie taken with him there. But since then, after I started my Trump page in, June of 2024, no, it's 2024, which is now with just about 2,000 members on it. And now I've started a newer one, which is going to be a lot more expansive, a lot more besides Trump and the administration, the new Facebook page called World Events. And there's also a YouTube channel on that too. So I want you to take a look at that. If you see the YouTube channel, make sure you please subscribe. It don't cost you anything. It's just, that you subscribe to the channel. When I add things, you get notifications about it. And do like it. And if you watch the video, give it a thumbs up, give it a thumbs down. And if you feel like making and leaving a comment about the show, please do, because it helps me. So anyway, I've been to several events, but I'm going to go for one of the biggest ones first. It was the Conservative Caucus earlier in 2025 up at the Drake Hotel in Oak Brook, Illinois. And these are the guest speakers: Jim Pfaff, who I've met before; Jessica Jackson, she was involved with Chicago Flips Red; Cash Kelly, who is a J6er and a J6 prisoner; and former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich. And this is just some of the pictures at the event. This one wasn't all tie and suit, but you can see people wore a little bit of everything at this event. And there's another picture with a couple of Mark Rice is two people to the right. The other guy is a congressman just to the right of me, the picture. So it's pretty amazing who the people you meet there and stuff like that. And there's just some outside of the, after the event was over, just chilling out, talking. And you get to know people, and they're just like you and I. And it doesn't matter probably which party you're in, the Democrat or the Republican, because you would have the same values and thoughts and ideas. So if you want to get involved, go to your political party, things like this. Very informative, and you're bonded together, I mean. And this event, I got to meet Governor Rod Blagojevich, and I did interview Rod, and I'm going to go ahead and bring that up here, which is, I think you're going to like it, because, a lot of people don't like Rod Blagojevich, but you know what? It is what it is. That's what life is about now. But, yep, and that's what's funny about this. I interviewed Rod Blagojevich before he got his full pardon from President Trump. So we're going to go ahead and do with the interview. With Governor Blagojevich in Oak Brook, Illinois. And thank you for being here, Governor. And tell me about what you want to do with the GOP party and what you think the small differences are between the GOP and the Democrats.
Well, thank you very much, Jim, for your service to our country, by the way.
You're welcome.
I have warm memories of Peoria. I had the experience of being governor for 6 years, and I know I'm the only governor in Illinois history to have run the Peoria 15K race that you guys hold every year.
Right, they do.
In July. It's really hot. That was 9.3 miles. I did that in like 80 minutes as the sitting governor of Illinois, and I challenged the current governor of Illinois to do the same.
I don't think you'll ever make it.
But to answer your question, look, I'm very grateful for so many things in life, and above them is this country that we live in is the greatest country in the world, and it's a sad thing to see what's been done to America over the last several decades. It's been little by little, but slow but sure, where establishment politicians in both parties have been screwing the people, and they've been serving themselves in the backs of the people. And so I call myself a Trumpocrat because I'm a strong supporter of President Trump and the political realignment that he's leading, changing the Republican Party into a party that's actually on the side of everyday people, working people, the people that the Democratic Party used to be for, but have since abandoned and shunned aside so they can represent the elites, Hollywood movie stars in Silicon Valley, billionaires, as well as Wall Street financiers. So I'm excited about the things that are happening in American politics today that President Trump is so instrumental in bringing about. And I'm just happy and delighted to have a chance to play what little role I can to be helpful in this process. To me, it's not really about Democrats or Republicans. It's really about doing what's right for America and doing what's right for the people.
Yes, and God bless for Trump. I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, if it wasn't, I think this country was going to go really downhill.
It was going downhill.
Yes.
And, it's going to turn it around and make America great again. I have
Great.
no doubt about
Thank you for being here. Thank you for talking to me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim, and God bless you.
God bless.
So that was my one-on-one interview with Governor Rod Blagojevich. He was Illinois' 40th governor, and he sort of hit something on the head. I have voted Democrat. I've voted Republican. And, so I try to look at the best candidate, what is best for the country. And, I voted once for Barack Obama, but not the second time. Okay, so you can switch back and forth. I've heard so many people, they stay on one political party, that's it. No, I don't do that. So we'll see what happens here. I'm still staying on the right side for right now, and we'll see what happens up in 2028 and, the midterms in 2026. And another person I was lucky to meet, very nice person, is Cash Kelly. He was from Indiana, Northwest Indiana, and he was at J6, and he did enter the Capitol. He didn't trash anything. This is after basically they got shot at, or with pepper bullets and rubber bullets and stuff like that. And that's when the barricades went down and people went in. And he was in the prison system for just being a participant in J6. And he gave a real good speech that day. And we're going to go ahead and bring his speech up.
Gentlemen, this is what the Trump MAGA Republican Party looks like. And I've got to say, and this is for Brandon Johnson and J.B. Pritzker, when we stand up, they stand down. Now I want to invite a man that I consider like my brother, just a little bit darker. But this man, Joe Biden, and the Kamala Harris administration put this man in prison under the most inhumane and horrific conditions for 3 years for exercising his First Amendment rights and walking into the United States Capitol. 3 years. The treatment, and Roger Stone and I talked about this, we interviewed Enrique Tarrio yesterday. The conditions, the prison guards were ordered to treat these gentlemen, men and women, patriots, worse than the child rapists and sexual predators and violent murderers. That's a true story. They were directed to treat them worse. They stripped Cash Kelly. He had nearly 800,000 followers on his social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. They stripped him of all of that. They took his way of income and supporting his family. They wanted to break him. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Do you think they broke Cash Kelly? Do you think they broke Cash Kelly? Ladies and gentlemen, another great patriot, Cash Kelly.
Y'all gonna make me speak after that? What am I supposed to say? That was great. Like that's, we should all go home and get some food now. She did that. No, seriously. I appreciate you guys. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I appreciate it. You know, you said something when you were standing up here, and it's been resonating in my head, man. You said that Cash Kelly and the J6ers deserve all our praise. And I just want to say, man, look, I appreciate that, right? I do. But really, do we? And the reason I say that is, did we do anything different than anybody else would have did that was there that day? As an American, you would have stood up too. We did what was American. This is how it should be the norm. That when we see tyranny, or we see something like that, that was happening in our nation, where our election was corrupted, obviously, fraud, right? Okay, if you see your rights being stepped on as an American in our Constitution, what is your duty? To stand up. So thank you for the praise, but man, let me tell you something. I would just be happy with everybody adopting the ideology of constitutional-based protest. Just like that. For me, it wasn't nothing wrong with what happened on January 6th. They said, well, what about the police? The police that were brutalized by these violent protesters. Well, what about the police that stood up on a balcony, shooting pepper balls at people that were singing God Bless America? They weren't acting as regular good police. We backed the true blue. They want the true blue. They I almost cursed. They are some messed up police. That's what they are. They was messed up. And then what happened after? They went to people's homes, tear gas through the house, in front of children, wives, elderly people, arrested them and dragged them all the way to DCBOC. That wasn't bad enough. They say on the news, even in Chicago, it was shocking, you know, they put me on the news. And they said, violent white supremacists stormed nation's capital. I had to look at it, I'm not African, you're right. No, but for real, think about this. They put that on the news and then they realized once they zoomed in, they're like, oh, he's not one of them. Take that down now. And they took it down. You never see me on the news as a violent white supremacist ever again. You know what you saw after that? You know what you saw? They switched it up. They said, violent Latin king, Chicago man storms nation's capital. I said, well, damn, I ain't been a Latin king since I was about 21 years old. I've been a gang activist, keeping kids away from gangs and out the streets and away from drugs. But I get it. And it opened up my eyes to a lot of things that happen in this country and what they do, the trickery that they pull. The media. When we talk about the enemies of the people, the media, not this media, shout out, this is my favorite news network, I watch it every day, so you guys know. But big media, legacy media, they are the enemy of the people. While people was yelling defund the police, in 2020 I was yelling defund the media. Okay? Defund the media. Everyone's gonna put out the propaganda. And you see it happen happened in real time. They took these men that I ended up, I was sweating going to DC. I'm not going to say here about it. I'm like, oh man, I saw the news. I'm like, yo, bring me to DC DOC. They said, that's where all the white supremacists are going. Oh, then that's where I got to go. Okay. So I get there. And I get in the van. I get off of Con Air. That's what we call it. And it was actually Nick Cage. You know, he looked just like Nick Cage. Shout out my man Alex. But yeah, it was like, yo, I'm going here. So I get off and I see this man. He's in cuffs, big old white guy, white beard, white hair. And he goes, hey, Cash Kelly? I'm like, yeah, I'm Cash Kelly. He's like, Jay Sixer? I'm like, yeah, I'm Jay Sixer. He goes, me too. Kelly Mays, Oath Keeper. I'm like, are you white supremacist? God, no, I'm not a white supremacist. Man, I got grandkids, and they're my best friends, but there's black people there with us. It's Oath Keepers. I said, for real? And it opened my eyes to a lot of things. When I went to DC DOC and met all these dudes that they told you were white supremacists, Proud Boys. I'm like, I knew that was a lie from the gate. Like, I was just kicking with Chief, I know Enrique, and he's darker than me. He's not white supremacist, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting in here, and in real time, we're watching the news. And I see these brothers break down crying. All the Proud Boys that I was locked up with, all the Oath Keepers I was locked up with, those are my brothers to this day. I love them to death. Shout out Kelly Meggs, Ken Harrison, Jeff Watkins. Love them. It brought some of them to see themselves on the news as a white supremacist. To where I'm the only black guy in DC DOC at this point, you know, it was a J6. I don't know why the hell that happened. It was just like, all right, everybody else, let them stay in their jail, but we're going to take this one and put him over here with them. I don't know why. Other than it was God. For me to be able to come home and tell everybody, yo, the narrative that they pushed is a lie. They've been lying. Some of these people served in the military. Shout out Ryan Nichols, who ran into natural disasters, a Marine. They painted him out as some white supremacist from Texas. And he's one of my best friends to this day, Shane Jenkins. A really good brother. Really good brother. He's not a white supremacist. James McGrew served in the Marines in Fallujah, fought in war, had his face blown off a little bit. He got a scar. But he did. He fought for his country. Jeffrey McKillop, highly decorated. Green Beret, 3 Bronze Stars. White supremacists? No. So what I'm here to do, since I've been home from prison, is squash that narrative.
Yeah.
The media use this stuff to make people turn against. In DC DOC, the treatment from all the officers there is black. You got literally like one white dude that works there, and then one white lady that hated us. Like she just hated us, right? She was a lieutenant. She was making sure that we're gonna make sure that they go through hell. Feed them nothing. Like it was bad. And all these officers, when you talk about racism, I never seen reverse racism in action before. I ain't never seen it. I always thought like black people can't be racist. We just can't. It's just impossible. No, I've seen it. And guess what? It wasn't even black people. It was Africans. Like, they was from Africa. I said, hey, brother, I need to go. He said, do not call me your brother. You are nigga. You know what I'm saying? He said the word. And I'm like, yo, this is what it is, huh? Oh, okay. But they called them, you know, the white slurs that they got for people, they call them every single one of them on a regular. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. They beat Ryan Sampson in the cell, beat that boy like he stole something, beat him. And then they called it a lie on the media. That's not true. You know, they pepper sprayed the whole unit. That's not true. They didn't do that. That never happened. And they lied. The media lied. And then said, had half of America saying they deserved it. They're insurrectionists. Who you know got charged with insurrection? I didn't. I didn't get insurrection. No one did. It wasn't an insurrection. But the media is the enemy of the people. These crooked politicians. My man Rock said it best. It's doing crooked politicians. These crooked politicians have an agenda to keep America divided. That's what they want. America divided. White people hate the black people. Black people hate the white people. And we're going to keep screwing all of them. That's what their agenda is. Which is why they hate Trump. And this is why so many black people like myself support Trump. Because we see it. I'm like, yo, I've always liked Trump. I went into the news. I started watching him in 2020 or 2019. And I'm like, oh, maybe he's racist. And I'm like, no, hold on. That's Big Homie. I did a video in his Trump Tower. He's big cool. But when you get your eyes open to it, and you see, they done came after this man. They tried to throw him in prison. They brought up allegations about his past. They lied on this man, right? That's exactly what they did to me. So I'm here today to give Trump his honorary black card. You want to go to that, brother. And in return, we are trading off Don Lemon. Y'all know Don Lemon. Other than that, I just want to say, man, look, I appreciate everybody that stood by us and didn't count us out, man. We all got a history. I mean, you can look up all of our histories in J6. They try to use that against us now. Oh, they were this before, whatever. I used to be a gangbanger. I used to be a drug dealer when I was young, 21. 23, I got out of all of it completely and started my life of activism. I'm a dedicated father. And prison did not break me, like my man Mark said. Prison didn't do none of that. In fact, it made me a lot sharper. I read a lot inside of there. I met a lot of people, and I definitely got big. You know, King Steve was closing. You know, I'm right. But since coming home, my number one agenda: first, clean up our streets, in a way of being there for the youth, because that's what they need. You know, killing the narrative that they put out there that we're supposed to all hate each other just because of what color our skin is. Killing that. And bringing awareness, man. Bringing awareness to the deception of the media. That is the biggest enemy. They are the ones that cause the rift. Okay? That's it. And with that, I want to say, shout out to my beautiful wife, Betty, I love you. All my babies, all my kids, I love you guys. I hope I'm making you proud. And to my man Mark, thank you. To all my J6 brothers and sisters, we got work to do now, baby. Let us out.
So take heed of what he said. You know, the media divides people. And this is coming from a person that spent time in the prison for 3 years. And as people, if they let you see the real videos, you know, a lot of them were just, say, waved in by the Capitol Police. And it's sort of sad. And like he says, you got to, if you have a firm belief in something, we need to stand up about it. You know, we need to voice our opinions and, you know, try to do it peacefully. One thing we really need to wake up on is Islam. It's all over the place. It's bad in Europe. It's tearing down Great Britain and other countries over there. And I've reported it in my shows, and I'm going to continue reporting it in my shows. But that's coming from a person that was involved with J6, real good person. He also has his own podcast. It's Cash Kelly, and I've listened to him too. But yeah, these events, I mean, I've been blessed to be able to do what I'm doing. I am a news certified correspondent, so I have my press credentials, and I like going to these events because I learn a lot. And I'm glad I've had the opportunity to go to some of these big events and cover it from the news perspective side of it, plus a supporter on the right side. And that's, I mean, it just amazes me. This other one person I met right here is George Papadopoulos and his wife. George Papadopoulos was a big talk during Trump's first administration. He was the one known that had a Russian spy girlfriend. Of course, they're married now. And I got to meet him, as you can tell. And I'm going to bring up a clip of him also speaking. And let's get this right here. As soon as there, up. Oh, here it is. And we'll bring that up.
How's it like to read media like I am? Like, are you? Look, it's excellent to be back in my hometown of Oak Brook, Illinois. being called a Chicago man at the entire time. The reality is, it's a Butler Junior High, Brute Force Elementary, it's all set in high school. So I don't know if that's a Chicago guy or not, but it's a big deal for everyone. First, one of the really main organizers of this incredible conference and this Patriot.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and quit that one. I tried to enhance the audio on it, and it's just not coming out any better. But he talked about how he was framed, and his wife spoke afterwards. And like she says, whoever did these things with the false allegations, they all need to go to prison. She was not Russian at all. She is from, if I remember right, Italy, and she is also a licensed lawyer. And they got drugged through the turmoil with all the false allegations. And so it sort of opens up the eyes to what really happens. And here's another event I went to. It's a big event nationwide. Every county really has one. It's called the Lincoln Day Dinner. This was in East Peoria, Illinois, on May 22nd. Suit and tie event. And like I said, I'm glad I have the opportunity to be able to go to these type of events and meet the people. Now, this is inside. Excuse me. And I met Darren Bailey here at the event. James Mendrick, he's the sheriff of DuPage County, and now he is running at that time too for our governor of Illinois coming up in the midterms in 2026, which would be just next year. So the primaries on that are March 17th. Look at these candidates that's running for governor within Illinois on the Republican side, and get to know him. In fact, I just had a phone call from him today about some things going on. This is John Goodman. He's running for Congress. He's in another district. Mark Lang. Mark Lang is involved in the Peoria area on a Patriot group. I've been to one of his meetings and very informative what goes on there. John Boris. He's with the Gun Save Live. I go to a lot of their events up in the street of Illinois at the South Post Gun Club. This is Trussell. She ran as Bailey's partner in 2024. And here's again her, Crystal Logren. She's running for Illinois State Rep up and out of Sal, Peru. And the other lady, and she is the GOP chairman in the state. So as you can tell, there's another person that was at the event. And this is Middle America Grassroots Action, which Crystal Logren is the chairman of. And I've been to many events. Her and I, even after the Illinois Gun Owners Lobby Day event in Springfield, we all marched from the event center in Springfield all the way to the steps of the Capitol and listened to the politicians speak there at the Lincoln statue. And then her and I went to the Capitol afterwards, or met up in the Illinois State Capitol, and went underneath and went into the offices, and she walked in, and we talked to one of the reps in the office, just walking in and talking to him. This is another state rep, Baclaus. This lady here, she is running for the 18th U.S. Congressional District out of Illinois, and her name is, sorry about that, Julie. And she's running for that position. This is Darren Bailey, who's running also for Illinois GOP governor. and his running mate, Aaron Del Mar. I've met them several times. I've also interviewed both of them. And there's another picture of Darren Bailey and I. This is taken a while back. This was before he actually decided to run for governor, and then this was before unfortunately, the helicopter accident that killed his son, his son's wife, and 2 of their 3 children. Sad situation there. But, like I said, that's how I get to meet these people. And I really do like going to these things and trying to bring you things about what is happening. Now, this next lady I'm going to have on here, she has been on my show 3 times. Her name is Natasha Owens. She's a Christian political singer. She sings Trump Won, You Know It, The Party People, a very well-informed person, very Second Amendment right person, and she's pretty amazing. She's been to Mar-a-Lago many a times, and knows Trump personally. So there's on other shows when I've interviewed her, I asked her about Trump's faith in God, and she goes, yeah, she would put anybody up against with his faith in God. So I'm going to go ahead and bring a clip up here of her talking about it's sort of sad what happened, but she'll talk about it right here.
Do we have a gun problem? I don't think we have a gun problem. We have a mental health problem. We have a heart problem. We have a God issue, a lack of love, but we do not, a mental health issue, big time. But we don't have a gun problem. It's not the gun's fault. With my dad's situation, it was my dad's fault. He had an accident. He made a mistake. It wasn't the gun. It was him.
So that's a short clip of her on my show. It's been probably about a year ago, and talked about guns. And she even has a song, The Second Amendment Protects the First Amendment. Very good song. And like I said, it's just amazing. This is Brad Kohler. I've had him on my show twice. He is running for governor in Minnesota on the Republican side. Raymond McKay, he is running for U.S. Senate out of Rhode Island. I've had him on my show. So like I said, many people. This is Mark Rice. He's running for U.S. Congress out of the 8th Illinois U.S. Congressional District. It's up north. And there's Dabrowski, and he's running for the GOP Illinois governor. So right now you have 3 people that's really in the run for Illinois governor, which is Sheriff James Mendrick, Darren Bailey, and this person here. So it's amazing. This is Dylan Vansel. He's running for the 18th U.S. Congressional District against the lady that I had a picture of just a little bit ago. So they'll be competing against each other. This is another person running for governor. No, he's running for U.S. Congress. He's out of around Decatur area, Illinois. And that was the Illinois State Fair GOP day. Anthony, this guy's a trip. He's running for Illinois Attorney General. He's running for this gentleman here, Lloyd. He's running for U.S. Congress also. Okay, his name just went through my head. He's running for Congress. Charlie Kim, that's his name. He was at the Illinois State Fair this past summer, again on Republican Day. Patrick Carlin, he's running for the 17th District for Illinois Senate. And to his right his left, as you see it, that's Ray Estrada. And there's the head person down to the right of me, as you see it, from the Pekin GOP. There's a couple other pictures. James Martyr, who's just running, he's out around the LaSalle area. He's also running for U.S. Congress. When I had my Trump rally September 29th of last year, he was the only one, the only politician that came to the rally. And here we had politicians from Peoria area in their backyard. They didn't show up. But he gave a good speech that day, and I've met him several times before too also. And the person you saw introducing Cash Kelly, that's Mark Vargas in the middle. I've talked to him. I've interviewed him, and he's very heavily involved in politics. And this was just recently at one of the events, and ex-Senator Chuck Weaver from Peoria, Illinois. I've been to his events at his farm there on the out west on west end of Peoria. But anyway, I'm going to bring up one more video, and this is of Sheriff Mendrick talking on the show that I had just last week with Ray Estrada, and it's about Venezuela and the gangs that's coming in. And listen what he says. So again, listen. Sheriff, you want to pick up on that one? I don't know if you've had any dealings with Tendry Alegre.
Yeah, so I mean, they're one component of what we're dealing with. So you got to understand, for 4 years, Joe Biden just opened up his borders. So, you know, we're the leaders in the nation in rehabilitation in the jail. So I go to the National Sheriff's Association conferences. They're typically in Washington, D.C., sometimes other places. And I teach a course for rehabilitation. At the same time, other sheriffs that have other issues teach their own courses. So I attend the California, the Texas sheriff's presentations where their specialty is immigration and border because that's what they deal with in their jobs. So during the first year, I remember the first year of the 4 years of Biden open borders, they were showing videos during their training classes of completely unmonitored pockets of the border, holes in the fences. I personally watched people in orange jumpsuits come through unchecked. I saw people in fatigues come through with guns displayed. The open borders wasn't just that people were immigrating here illegally. It's they were creating these lines of transit, tunnel systems, travel systems, which roads are best to avoid the authorities. You know, even see that tanker truck, you know, today, that was supposedly, they're hinting that it was oil that was going to be used to help support terrorist groups. So, you know, 4 years of being able to do business in America without having to worry about borders or regulations, or, you know, even being a citizen, that was 4 years of this. And I'm telling you, Donald Trump was right when he said that they launched their correctional facilities first. I saw it with my own eyes. When these sheriffs taught these classes, they had video of all these people pouring in. You know what? The Border Patrol was stuck processing all the influx of people. They weren't guarding. They were taken out of their normal format of guarding a border and processing people and having them download apps so they could, you know, bring more in. This was something that I've never seen before. You know, right now, it's estimated that there's at least 26 million illegal aliens in the U.S. I know in 2023, the last count was 550,000 in Illinois alone. So over 500,000 people. You know, no matter what your opinion is of immigration, at least in Illinois, and I would venture a guess to say in the other states also, we can't afford another 500,000 more than 500,000 people. And that was a 2023 number. So we're probably looking at probably 700,000, right around that number in Illinois. That's education, that's healthcare, that's housing, SNAP benefits. I mean, it's unsustainable. No matter what your opinion is, we cannot take a society. We have our existing society, and now we're overlaying. Let's summon in and overlay another society on top of our existing society and compete for the existing resources.
Right. Now, your topics were right on that because it's taking money away and it's reducing. That's why one thing I think cost of stuff are going up because you have more people, so you have supply and demand. So that was Sheriff Mendrick of DuPage County, who's also running for governor of Illinois. Ray Estrada, he did run for a political position a few years ago. He's more of a coordinator now and works with campaigns. Very knowledgeable person. You can see both him, Sheriff Mendrick, and Ray Estrada on my YouTube channel, which is right here below. Okay. And it's other videos and clips that I'm doing on YouTube. And again, if you go to the YouTube channel, subscribe. It don't cost you nothing to subscribe. It would give you updates when I add more stuff onto it. Like the channel and watch the videos. And please give a thumbs up, give a thumbs down on them, and leave comments on the videos. One last thing, I have these gold tone or silver tone coins, and I don't get any money to do this, so I am asking $10 a piece for one. They're either stamped 2024 or 2025, and if you would like one, email me below, right here. Whoop. At worldevents.jamesfrere@gmail.com, and let me know your address, and we'll get one out to you. $10, and that includes the shipping of it also. Like I said, it's just to help me out a little bit on what I'm doing. If you don't have to, you can still watch my stuff. It don't matter. I enjoy what I'm doing. But again, I want to thank everyone, and this is a little bit about what I've been doing for a couple years and who I've been involved with. And it's just amazing to have, I've interviewed 3 people from out of state, even a person out of the U.S. 33rd District in Texas who's also running for U.S. Congress. And I had him and Brad Kohler, who's running for governor of Minnesota. We talked about the immigrations. We talked about the Somalians and the fraud in it. And listen to that full show. That's why I put these out here for you, so I can try to help educate you more than what you hear on the news. And everything you see is uncut, it's unedited, it's not scripted. Whatever it's recorded, that's how it comes out. So again, good evening, everyone. God bless. I'm James Frere, your host of World Events, live, or actually recorded from Chillicothe, Illinois. Again, thank you. God bless. Good night, and have a Merry Christmas.